So I should have both my mic and speaker on. Should I have my speaker on? Or turn off the speaker?
No.
I have mic and speaker both on.
Oh. Well, no one's going to be talking, but yeah, that'll be fine. But as long as we have this active, then we're good.
Voice coming. That's what I'm wondering. I updated it just a half hour ago.
Scott sent it to me. I thought he sent it to voice as well.
I don't know about that.
When you kick off, or when you open up, just make sure you let everyone know that's going to be on the recorded meeting that they need to submit their questions over the chat panel, and then we're good.
So to submit on the chat.
Yeah, but you'll want to say it audibly because there's people who probably aren't watching the chat panel yet. So.
Voice or wait for it. He's gonna start. No. Should I go see him?
All right, thanks for showing up, everyone. Oh, we're waiting for voice. All right. We're still waiting for David's voice. Everybody.
we good now?
We're good.
Okay. All right. The other thing Dave said to me on the way back is, all right, we have all our quota carriers in here, so let's make it quick because we're not selling while we're doing this. So I'm going to go pretty quick, and there are lots of chances to ask questions kind of in the heat of battle, but let's try to make this as fast-paced as possible. I'll try to be as incisive as possible. You guys track, ask questions, and we'll try to move through it. And then we'll capture anything that we haven't thought of already, and we'll circle back with answers. That's what we did with implementation and client success this morning. So today's the day. Here's the question: is how do come on?
How do we advance?
Hey,
It's not the same interface.
hey, Dave.
Hang on. No.
Dave, can you hear me?
I was doing it.
Hey, Andrew, Dave, can you hear me?
You need to click on that GoToMeeting window. I minimize that. Maybe if you just make that the active screen. Now if I advance, will it go?
It's screen 2. It should.
Hey, Dave,
I was
Andrew,
doing it.
can you hear me?
There we go. And you just click it. Good. And at worst, just do the arrow right there.
Okay. All right. So today is the day. Pricing is live on the web. I'll show you what it looks like. If you go to insightsales.com/pricing, right now you'll see a new page. Emails are going out tomorrow. We'll take a look at what those look like. You are getting all the tools today that you need to sell the new edition price, the platform pricing. You're getting a new messaging deck. You'll get an electronic version of what just got handed out to you. We made some slight adjustments up front. It's still platform, business value, and science. But there's a mention now of how it ties into the package pricing at the kind of escalating business value. So communicate gets you a certain amount. It basically gets you all of your efficiency stuff. Elevate gets you more. That basically gets you all of your effectiveness stuff. Because now I can connect more often. Get with local presence and with sequence, I can kind of dial it in even tighter. And then accelerate gets me even more. Even after I've gotten all of the efficiency and effectiveness gains, there's still another we've seen 12 to 15% that I can get by just turning on the big data behind it. So that's what accelerate is. Gene deck, account assignments are going out today from Neil. Deal generator is, we may not take time to go over it all. We'll just give you a little bit of a view, but we've taken the old deal generator and we've incorporated all of the components of bundle pricing as well as new implementation quotes. So you can actually print out a printable deal sheet from the new deal generator that incorporates all of that stuff, including a discount table. The trade-up script I'm going to email out to you right after this, basically, and I'll show you an example of it in this deck. STA, I think we can forecast an STA today. That's one thing I didn't confirm, but it was due today. And then we've got an FAQ as well. November 10th, Derek is scheduling sales workshop. We'll actually workshop this, role play it, take some corner cases, take the center of the bullseye stuff, and then take some corner cases and make sure we understand it and that we're selling effectively to it. So that's 10 days from now.
It is an STA.
It is good. Okay, so that's live on the communicate, elevate, accelerate. If you want to expand this, it expands. It's also, you can see it on your phone. It's all responsive design. And then once you expand it, when you go to a Learn More button, shows up below that, and then it goes to a lead form. You don't really need to, for selling, we don't really need to worry too much about that. Where's my, yeah. Oh. Email's not in there. Well, the email basically comes from the CAMs. It's going to go out tomorrow. It says, good news, we'd like to upgrade your account. There's really no catch, but there are some details, and I'd love to talk through them with you. The details are around, basically you got to renew today, and you're going to renew for the term of your current agreement or 12 months, whichever is short, whichever is longer. So if they have a 2-year agreement, we're going to renew them on the 2-year agreement. If they only have 6 months left on their agreement, we're going to renew them for 1 year. You're going to renew at the bundled price, and you're going to lock that price in. We'll talk about some of the details of this, but the email is pretty high level, and it says, let's talk about the details, and I've partnered with your sales rep to make sure. It does not name the sales rep by name because we didn't trust our data. That is correct. If that's your account, then you'll see who the CAM is. Talk to the CAM, make sure that account is in a good place so that we can have that conversation, and then we'll start that conversation. Okay, so basically the trade-up script is this. And this mirrors what's in the email, by the way. This is if you get somebody on the phone. Good news, we just announced new pricing and packages. As part of the announcement, we have a special end-of-the-year promotion. Given your current setup, if you're new today, you will receive all the features included in our new Communicate package for the same price you're currently paying. The full package includes the following, and in your case, that means you're going to get the following that you hadn't paid for, you're still not going to pay for, but we're going to give it to you because you're a good and loyal customer. There's not really a catch. You just renew it, and actually, this probably isn't the right language, this catch language, because there are some details behind it. You got to renew. You have to pay implementation on the thing that you are that you're implementing that you hadn't implemented before. So whether that's a catch or not a catch is probably semantics. Let's just talk them through those things and make them comfortable with they're getting something for free. All they got to do is pay implementation. Does that make sense? By the way, this is last time we were in this room. If you like this, I have the ability through the end of the year to get you as many seats of Communicate as you like at that same price. So if they're only paying $80 and we're giving them Vision Lite for free, we can get them more of what they have plus Vision Lite still for $80, same price. We can do that deal through the end of the year. At the end of the year, it'll go back to retail, but whatever they're paying today, they're going to get more stuff, and then they can get more of it. So that's a play that would be useful. You really don't have to sell anything more than what they're using today, because the rest of it's just a giveaway. And then even better, for $50, you can upgrade to Elevate, which means now you get fully featured email engagement, gamification, which is Power Standings Pro, local presence, and if they don't already, they wouldn't already have this, or if they don't already have this, Next Call Plus, which is Seekless.
David, this where you're throwing Ginzu knives too. Look at that.
That's right. If you act now. So the point of this whole thing is to give to get. It's not just to give. So we've had several conversations with people that are in current deals now, like, oh my gosh, I was going to charge for Vision in this account, or I was going to charge for Power Standings in this account. Now what do? I've got nothing left. Well, there's a couple of plays here. One is give them the 20 seats of Power Standings Pro or a Vision, and then tell them that they can get the other team of 20 on that same price if they act before the end of the year. So I can actually grow from 20 to 40 or 20 to 60, however many seats aren't already rolled out. The other play is to get them to go up. So I can go up in up to Elevate or up to Accelerate if they act before the end of the year. There's a third play too, is we could still sell standalone Vision. So if you're giving away 15 seats of Vision Lite or 15 seats of Vision that you thought they were going to pay for, now's the time for them to lock in the other 100 seats of Vision across the rest of their enterprise, which we can do as well, and it's a give to get. So, hey, I'd love to get you this for free because of this promotion, and then I'd love to get the rest of your guys up on Vision before the end of the year. So there's like 3 plays that you can make based on the goodwill of this trade-up. Any questions on that? I'm going to skip that. Okay, here, I mentioned last time when we talked about this is the first time we've done a trade-up action like this at Inside Sales, and so there's going to be a lot of stuff that we're going to work out as we go. Here are a few clarifications that have worked out between the last time we met and today. It's your job to find more, like stuff that you're not sure about. Ask your manager. Let's raise those issues. Let's get them kind of sent on to me, and then let's get them standardized and rolled out so that the next time we do this, it can be more seamless. But here are some things to make sure we understand this time around. Q4 implementation slots are limited on a first-come, first-served basis. Details. All Communicate and Elevate packages that we sell in November, we will be able to start the implementation this calendar year. So we're making a blanket, we're writing a blank check on that. We do have limited implementation capacity, but if you can get it done in November, we'll start them before the end of the calendar year. And you can use that as an urgency play. Like, I really would like to get you started. We're not buying this just so it can sit around. We're buying this so we can get it implemented. And implementation gets crazy in our Q4. That's our problem, not your problem. But if we can get you in, if I can get you in the door in November, we can get you out of, we can get you started this year. In terms of sales indicator and Neural View, which is Accelerate, those actually are limited and we can't write a blank check. So on those, you have to check with Andrew to make sure we have slots left. We have 5 slots of each of those in November and 5 slots of each of those in December. We're going to increase them if we can. We can sell this.
There's only a total of five companies that can
Create the issue. We're going to solve the issue or so to get one of them start to finish. It's not too. It's 2 elapsed weeks. It's not 2 weeks of manpower. So we can figure out how to layer that, and we're gonna get better and better at it. But I just want you to check with Andrew before you sell one of those and commit that we can get started.
Does that account for those that sold?
No, those are.
So those 10 additional, or those 10 total?
10 additional. Yeah.
And that's through Andrew in terms of.
Andrew Perry, A Perry, P-A-R-R-Y. Yep. Okay, certification. When you run this deal generator, you're going to see certification pop out every single time. It's going to come on every deal proposal. It's $3,900 and something per seat. We want everyone to be certified. Now here's the thing on certification. Where we're limiting your ability to discount on license, you can discount the crap out of certification all the way to 100%. Don't do it as your first move. That would be dumb. You wouldn't have anything left to do. But certification, if they start pushing back on the total size of your deal, we can't discount implementation. We can't discount license beyond the amount that's made available by virtue of how big the deal is, how many seats. A 10-seat deal gets X amount of discount. A 25-seat deal gets Y amount of discount. Certification is where you can do a little bit more for them when you need to get them over the line. And we don't want it to seem like it's not valuable, so you wouldn't want to discount it right away, but it is something you can do to help you get the deal over the line. Yeah.
Is there going to be a virtual certification solution at some point for, especially on the small biz side?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
I am told that it would only take a month to put together. I am still skeptical on that. I haven't really pushed on that yet. But we are trying to get there as soon as we can. Yeah. Okay, so the discount table that's in this, that's in the deal sheet, we'll show you what the deal sheet looks like. There's a discount table programmed in there. Michael still hasn't signed off on it 100%, so you still need to, if you're discounting, you still need to show that deal to your manager and get approval on it. Even if it's a small discount, we'll get to a point where we're like, no, that's the one that's good to go, and then we take that approval off. But since we don't have his signature on it yet, he said just show them all to your manager. Sales indicator. If you're in Accelerate, we're not going to charge an implementation fee on sales indicator, so that's another place that you can give a discount. We already said this, so I can get the same thing I already have upgraded to whatever package I'm already in, and I can buy as many seats of that as I want without increasing the price. So if I'm paying $80 right now just for click-to-call, I can add in Vision Lite and still only be paying $80, and then I can sell it to 100 more seats and still only be paying $80, or 1,000 more seats and still only be paying $80. And then this is the bad news. You guys asked me, can we mix and match packages? We cannot. So I can't sell Elevate to half of the company and then roll another team out just on Communicate. They're all going to be on Elevate. And then we're going to have to play with kind of configuration and discounting to make that make sense. But I can't give one package to part of an organization and a different package to another part of an organization. The one exception, so that's for the packages. Vision as a standalone can go across the whole organization though. So I could sell Communicate, I could sell Elevate to one team and then Vision as a standalone to as much of that company as I wanted, but I couldn't sell Elevate to one team and then Communicate to a different team. Yeah. Yeah, so we didn't square this off with, Greg, did we square off what we're doing with admin licenses?
Well, it says right there, this means no more admin licenses.
It does, but we had some, we rolled this out this morning.
For existing customers that have the problem. Customers, there's only one level license.
Right. New customers, we're not giving away admin licenses or discounting admin licenses. They just go as part of the deal. Existing customers, we still have some work to do on figuring out how to manage those.
Got a few attendees who are asking if there's a back explanation as to why we can't do the mixing and matching.
It's just a business reason for us. I think there's a technical reason as well. The provisioning is barely able to handle the what we're doing right now, and we're playing catch up on that. But really, what we want to do is we build these in such a way that they're that there's something for everyone in each one of them. There's some vision that can apply to everything. There's some gamification that can apply to everything. There's some dialing that can apply to everything. So it might be that the field team's getting a little more use out of vision, and the insight team's getting a little more use out of Power Dialer, but we're selling the same thing across. Salesforce, by the way, does it the exact same way. I mean, the real reason is it's our business reason, is we make more money that way, and we're going to get people to commit to a package. It's the same thing Salesforce does. And you say, wow, they're getting that for free, and you're getting that for free, and do we get free Ginsu Nice too? Yeah, actually, our kind of per unit of functionality price is coming down, but in exchange for that, we're getting people locked into packages, and we're rolling it out in a way that is similar to the way the rest of the SaaS world works, and then we're getting people on a really clear upgrade path. Kelly.
Yeah, so with our packages now, that means, just to clarify, we're not selling admin licenses with the packages, or are they coming with the Elevate Communicate packages for like the sales managers?
There's no such thing as an admin license anymore.
So they want to have report viewing and purchase an additional 125, 195 license. Okay.
That's right.
I would imagine that we both the billing and Salesforce admin, or those.
I don't understand the question.
Included a billing and a Salesforce admin.
It's all being flattened into one license type. That's the way everyone else does it. They're enjoying that.
Kelly.
So, does this mean the STA is updated with these new packages as well for us?
I was just told it was, yes. Mm-hmm.
So if we updated the billing side inside the system for the
It was-
clients.
It was supposed to be updated over the weekend. I need to go double check and make sure that it happened. But it's going to be real confusing if they see a whole bunch. If they think they bought Elevate and they're getting billed for 16 things.
Yeah, the stuff helps in there.
Exactly. So yeah, if it's not done today, it's got to be done tomorrow. I mean, it was supposed to happen over the weekend.
Awesome.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to go through the FAQ with this many people here, but I'm going to email it out to you. We have an FAQ on licensing, an FAQ on sales, and then the one you get will also have an FAQ on implementation. You should read it. It's a total of like 6 pages. It's not that bad, and it's pretty easy kind of question-answer stuff. But what to do is pull up an example of the deal generator and show you how that works. Just walk you through it. Yeah.
Looking at this.
Okay.
They do a bunch of free ones, and it's like $30 for enterprise edition.
Yeah. So I will we'll take a note on that and make sure we work that into. That's good. Yeah.
I haven't heard what implementation is on the 3 packages.
Yeah. Let's look when we go through this deal sheet. We'll show you some examples of how that spits out. Yes. Yeah.
The others with ramps users. So if we still have ramps pending, That just holds the same.
There's a ramp mechanism in the deal sheet as well that you can just program in. Two other things that came up this morning that weren't clear to me, but I'm sure are clear to you. Let's just make double, triple sure. If someone is on professional edition of Salesforce, the only one of our packages that's available to them is Communicate. Because they can't use Elevate, because Elevate uses Sequelist, and Sequelist chews up API calls, and Professional Edition doesn't come with API calls. So they'd have to upgrade if they wanted to go to Elevate. Yeah.
I just sold one. They're on Professional Edition, sold an Elevate. They understand the limitations.
Okay.
But they can use most of the other stuff.
They can go buy a la carte API calls if they need to.
They can still use local presence as well as full vision.
Yeah. Correct. They can still get local presence, call recording and monitoring. It's just the power of the Nextcall Plus / Sequelist that they wouldn't be able to do without chewing them. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so the 5 minimum license, that's day one. They have to have 5, and they can ramp in additional ones, or can they start with 3 and have 2 ramped in on 6?
I think it's 5 out of the gates. I think.
I've only seen special exceptions in those.
Why don't we say that's an exception that we'll manage? 5 out of the gates and manage an exception with your. Yeah. There was one other thing this morning that I'm forgetting, but I'm sure I'll remember it. Andrew, why don't you get up and can you pull up the deal sheet and walk them through that?
Yes.
Okay.
Hopefully the screen will work.
I could take questions, more questions. Well.
What about folks we already have out there that were pre-bundled pricing?
Yeah.
Try to transition.
You can follow those all the
Is it
way
showing
through.
now
If you
my
think you can get a
PowerPoint?
bigger deal by or you think you can get them over the line by giving them some good news that has to do with bundles, great. But we're going to honor any proposal you have out there through the end of the year.
Home tab to get some.
Home tab?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Oh, how do I make it show up there, though? Sorry, new Mac. Beautiful cow.
Hold on here. Okay.
Of course, now I'm gonna have to sit with my back turned.
Now I have to
Here, I'll-
open the GoToMeeting panel again real fast.
Oh yeah.
And
So we're going to
second
email.
screen.
We're going to email this out to you. It's in an Excel document. That means
right there.
whenever we make updates to it, they won't be on yours. So we got to figure out a better way to distribute it. But in the interest of speed, you're going to have an Excel document sitting on your hard drive that's exactly what he's looking at right now. That's going to help you generate deal sheets. And then as we get like nonprofit discounting in or some other things in that we hadn't thought of, as we finalize that discount table, we're going to have to make updates to it. So just pay attention that you've got the latest one and delete the old one when you get it.
Yeah, it sounds like
So
I
it
have to make
doesn't
an
feel
update to
confuse
it.
yourself.
Okay.
Okay, so the format of this is taken straight from the existing deal generator. There are definitely changes to it. I would say that your first step is to focus on the yellow cells. That's CELLS. That's where you're going to put in the most basic information about the proposal that you're trying to pull together. Some of the new items in here are an enterprise, where you can note here in a drop-down whether this is for an enterprise or not. Will these licenses with the different tiers or additions need LMP? If you select yes here, it actually will automatically pull in the number of licenses you'll do based on the LMP licenses based on the number of licenses for Communicate, Elevate, and Accelerate. And if another newness is this monthly discount cell here will actually calculate based on the discount table what that proposal qualifies for. And again, it's based on seats, so it's graduated based on seats. What you see here is, and actually in, oh, great. Hold on.
Pull up on this screen.
Yeah, I've got it unprotected is all.
Okay.
Okay. So that cell that says next, together with the information that it shows here, this potential next discount, this tells you that right now, information in, but at one point this might say it's a 5% or 10% discount, and it'll actually show you what the next level of seat-based license discount would be, and under here, so we can just jump in. I'll actually say that this is an LMP deal, and we're going to do Elevate 25 licenses. And so what it does then, it says, okay, well, you're qualified. This deal is qualified for 5% discount per the current table, again, that's not approved, and then lets you know here that the next level of discount is at 10%, and at what seats you would that option would qualify for. And then under here, the row in there that says potential next discount, it just gives you the breakout of that information if they had that 10% discount in there. You can fill in all the names up here. I don't think I need to walk through that. On sales indicator, if they are going to take on sales indicator, you're going to propose it. There are the 4 levels: professional, corporate, enterprise, and unlimited. This is actually, for now, at a 25. So sales indicator normally needs about for it to be the most effective. Now we can talk about different organizations and if they have enough throughput from an assessment standpoint that it makes sense, but here at a 25 seat license, it's actually under here it's saying it's not recommended for them necessarily for sales indicators. So we'll just move this up to 50.
If they're planning on hiring.
No, it's the number of people I have in seats already that have been generating data that helps me train a model that lets me be predictive about who I'm going to hire next. So if I have 2 people, it's hard to know whether the third person would be successful or not. If I have 30, it's a lot easier to know whether the next one would be successful or not.
And then you have 30 seats. We believe that you'll have this many assessments in a given year, 50 seats, and so forth. And so based on those seats, I guess an input is on seats, but it isn't necessarily. It's really about the number of assessments or surveys that people will be filling out in that 12-month period. So you can select here the professional. And you'll notice here that with Elevate tier up 50, and there are 50 LMP licenses that are automatically input in to the generators, so that you don't have to worry about that. The white cells that you see here are also updatable. So if you don't want to go up as high as I'm making this up, maybe it's you want to go to 4% discount or a 3% first, and go ahead and put in the actual cost that you put there. So you can update that using the cost. That's how the model was before. We can talk about if it's easier to actually update individual discounts. The other thing that's added in here that's good to note is dialer minutes. If someone needs to have that to show up in the proposal, it doesn't come into the total amounts, but just select yes there, and it will come into the proposal sheet and the deal sheet that's printer friendly. And then finally, if there's going to be a ramp time too, so let's say they've got 50 seats in Elevate, but eventually they're going to add another 25. You can add them here, and at the top there, we said that the agreement length is for 12 months. If we believe they're going to come in at 5 months from now, that means they'll actually have 7 months for the deal that they'll show up. So once you put in the months there, it'll calculate the actual contract start for those seats. And what that does is it also, by pulling in this 25 additional seats, it will pull in the next level of discount because they're under contract.
Did the implementation go up when you added those 25?
Yes. Implementation goes up. So down here is the implementation. Almost all of this is automatic. Here's where you get the certification. One of the comments that Dave was making that tells me I need to update this is that the certification right now is just default has 1 in there, but maybe we'll adjust it to actually show up the number of sysadmin or sales operations certs that we need to have based on each of the tiers. And here's where you can actually do the discounting. So for certification, we can actually just come in here and type 100% discount, and it'll just come up. The totaling here is down here. Right now, the opt-out option will make the changes that it has in the past. Same with free month and any additional terms, and also this time-based closing, the incentive for time-based discounts. So if they close it within a week, 2, or however it's set up here, you can change those, and also change it to be on the total agreement or an implementation. That will calculate and put into the proposal. The one thing that I would say is, I think I have this built out correctly, the commission summary. However, as you guys use it, let me know. It was actually a pretty convoluted backend to figure out the summary. So I feel I'd say about 90% confident that that's right. If you're noticing things that are wrong, please let me know immediately, and we'll get that fixed up. So give it a test drive on that one. And then under the proposal sheet, so once you've inputted all of that information, you should, since we have a ramp up, you're going to want to unhide this delayed billing date. Yeah, it shows up down there. And then the last thing you'll do is select here to filter. I'm trying to do this, and you'll unselect the hide. And so now it just shows those instances or those items that you want to in the proposal. The other thing that is done here is that because Elevate tier includes elements from Communicate, it's actually written in the language there. So it talks about being much more, it's the full call recording and monitoring, Vision Enterprise. It talks about all the elements. It pulls in the stuff from Communicate in the language there, so that when the customer sees that, they'll actually see all of that. It doesn't actually, instead of it saying just everything from Communicate, because that's not very clear to them. I think that's the real basics of this. Are there any questions?
Are we still going to have the 3,000 emails a month for Vision?
I don't. I'm not sure if there's a cap on
Call recording storage.
Call recording storage, we are including. Let me remember, what was our script?
Is there something that highlights all the fine details or like gotchas?
Yeah, well, we're not selling. So call recording storage, we're including up to a certain cap. The cap we haven't verified, but as part of Elevate, we're just including it on a per seat basis, and we'll get you the cap. But it's, as you probably know, it's like $30 versus 2 cents is like our price versus Amazon. So we're encouraging people to store
To the
offsite.
cloud storage option. Is the cloud storage included for the transferring, which we traditionally
Yes.
Okay.
So if they choose, we prefer them to do it, so we're not making a barrier by charging.
They have a limited storage for the month's sponsor.
Storage
We're no
is-
longer transfer it.
Bobby has a question about SMTP
Right,
push.
That's what it's-
it's
Correct.
part of the package.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
As-
It's part of Elevate, and then Communicate is the they could just manage their per month storage by just getting it off the servers before the end of the month.
Fees associated with them, numbers over.
With them porting numbers over, I don't know. Is that something we've charged in implementation?
Yeah.
I'll have to circle back to you. I think it's going to be included in implementation, but it's like a big batch fee if they've got a big set of numbers. Okay, so we need to double check that.
The question is there?
A big data transfer fee if they've got a bunch of numbers they need to import over.
We do have extra costs if they have a lot of numbers. We need to get precision around that though. So that
Okay. So 3 things that I thought of while we were talking. 1, if you toggle to enterprise, that you have to run this deal sheet by implementation before it can go out the door. There's got to be at least one scoping call to make sure we understand what we're committing to and the time frames and the scope. If you're on corporate or SMB, you can just send it out the door. We're committing to that, just coming out of this deal generator. Okay, so that's one thing. Second thing, these packages are paid annually and billed up front. That's different than what we've done before. So I know that came up in the all hands meeting the other day. We're going to the way Salesforce and everybody else does it. We're paid annually and paid up front. And the third thing, now I'm forgetting again. I'll think of it in a second.
So they're not doing a monthly payment.
That's not an option at all.
The monthly payment?
Yeah.
Not on the
So
packages.
they pay monthly.
I'm glad you grinned a little
I
bit.
heard the opposite earlier today. That's why I asked.
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't really covered in the meeting.
So we were just asking the managers about that, so that's not.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
maybe-
Two questions. First, before when we offered LMP, there was licenses ranging from the basic at 125 all the way up to the plus 175. Are we assuming that this is the all-inclusive 175 license that we're giving us for $50?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, is there the ability to do multiple ramps on the skill sheet? For instance, if they want to add 2 licenses every month for the next 3 months.
Currently, no. I mean, I guess it could be built. How often does that happen? Is that a pretty
A
standard?
lot of enterprise, where it's like
Okay.
you're phasing them out based off implementation schedules. So like Citrix was supposed to be wrapped up over a 6-month period. We're doing
Yeah, you just might end up duplicating these or-
Yeah.
We'll have to go make that adjustment.
We've actually seen it happen quite a bit in SMB.
Okay.
It's doable.
Yeah.
So if you add in an opt out there, you bill them annually. Are we just refunding that then?
Yeah. Wait, is that true? Actually, Salesforce doesn't do that. I don't know. Let me.
Well, I mean, due to the opt out, right?
Yeah.
Say
Good
they're
question.
45 days in. they
I've argued with
opt out.
Salesforce myself over this and tried to get them to give me money back, and they wouldn't do it.
I mean,
Good question.
I mean for the remainder of the year.
I know.
Right? Because they're
Because they didn't use it.
Historically, we've done, in an opt-out scenario, we've actually broke down to 2 payments where they've done their opt-out period.
Okay.
Others,
I'll circle back.
But
That might be a good solution. I hate the opt-out anyway, but so I'm biased.
Is this also vision too? For like the vision only reps? Because there is no vision only section on there. So built annually, sales sheet, all that.
I'll think that through too. Seems like I haven't thought about it at all. I've only thought about it for the packages. You're saying whether it's billed annually and upfront on vision. Okay. Let's talk about it afterwards. All right, guys. I think that's a pretty good overview. We're going to schedule follow-up workshop on the 10th. We'll probably want some follow-up on this deal sheet. You're probably going to get another revision or 2 or 3 of this in rapid fire as we figure out how to make this better. But you'll have this version of it on your machine today.
Do you prefer them to send those feedback?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave. If you find, please let either me or Andrew know.
Yes. Yeah, no.
We'll just
Email
email it
it.
and put it on the support site.
also a tab on this.
Yeah.
Go to that.
So, right here, the service 2 month one of agreement.
It's because I think
Are you asking about that?
I think maybe I don't know the opt out. There
No,
might be a
so
mistake
no,
with that.
the way that this works is basically like if someone gets the service started for us on say like the 5th of the month,
Yeah.
well then that first 25 plus or whatever days that they're going to be billed for, they'll be billed for it. Creation date or a basically just
Okay.
it's an incomplete month. So And that's just the way that their policy with billing works. So.
Where's the date?
We'll pay
Like,
for them
date? Like, if we're doing it annually in advance, when's their first payment due? If they kick off in November?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like possibly a service start date. I think people get the first 30 days free as well. So,
Yeah. And then, as far as revisions, are you going to be defaulted to the Provo address? Because when you generate the quote, it has this address, not the link.
we can.
Oh.
You know what? We could basically release two versions or have two.
I could just do a drop down that
Yeah,
says
actually,
it'd be a lot
Get
easier.
more addresses probably as we go.
Yeah. You can do a drop down for sure. So that's a good idea. I was also wondering, should we? I noticed like they were talking about the $50 difference on the LMP licenses.
Yeah.
So are you expecting them to scroll down to just manually put in 50 on the LMP?
No, it automatically happens. Once because what this cell does, is it just looks at it combine. It just takes all of those and automatically. Oh, there's 50 here, and I said it needs LMP. Then I'm going to put LMP down here. Now, they had to. If maybe they already had 10 licenses, you could just go in here and change it.
Wait, I don't understand 10 licenses.
Well,
So
I've said I need LMP.
okay.
I'm going to get elevate
I see.
50. I said there's 50 elevates, so it's automatically need 50 LMP.
I see the LMP up there. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up there.
All right. Cool.
Perfect.
I see. Yeah, and then it's automatically populating this
Down here
based
because
off
I did the
what you put in
25.
that.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. That's cool. Yeah, they gave me a request to build in the ability to ramp up to 4 times. So I actually had 16. You saw
Yeah,
my
I
last
saw that.
submission. Yeah. So.
Well, I think it could be easier because what I could do is then just do, because you can't mix tiers, what I do is add 4 rows, and then whatever row has a value up here, it'll automatically put elevate number 2, number 3, number 4.
Yeah, so maybe like tiered ramp number 1, tiered ramp number 2, and then basically tiered ramp number 1 will, or all the ramps will end up automatically populated based off of what you choose
Up top.
Up top.
Yeah, that,
Okay.
because then I can force people. I don't want to have to give them the
That makes
choice down
sense.
here.
That makes sense.
Screw it up. Okay.
Yeah. And then you got that one note on the request for the vision only, because there's a vision team.
Yeah, is vision build annual? And
No, they want to know is there a, because right now this is forcing them to choose one of the tiers and not do vision only, whereas the vision sales reps can sell vision only if they'd like.
Oh, no, you're right. It's the same content. But
So just add that as one of the licenses, right? Instead of one of the 3 tiers, it'd be a vision only tier, basically.
And I took the blue.
Yeah, I would recommend probably just doing a separate
match our website,
like tab.
but not
Just do a vision only.
So we'll get that.
But doesn't it? I mean, it's just this, right?
No.
So if you do a vision only though, you can still have them feeding everything into the proposal tab.
I think I'd just add another section. Just like take this
Okay.
and make it vision only.
Yeah, because if you do 2 separate ones, then it's 2 inch. Yeah.
I don't need too many input areas for people to use.